Well, hello everyone. This is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today I'm going outside of my comfort zone, not in the tying aspect, but in the fishing aspect. This is a little ice jig. I don't ice fish. I have like twice, and I think once was a company gathering and we just yacked. And the second time we just sat in a cold thing drinking beer, and I don't even remember if we put our lines in the water. So I'm not a big ice fisherman. I do know that these work because I've tied them up for other people that have used them in Alberta and in BC. So I know they work as a lure fly. So they're definitely worth having this style in your box. And you can tie them anywhere from a size 8 to a 14, 16, 10, 12, 14 is probably 12, 14 is probably where I would stay. Now this is using a hook called Alex Nymph hooks. They're super heavy hooks with a tungsten. In this case, I think they're size 10, with a 3.8 mil tungsten bead and tapered lead body. So they're super heavy. So they get down real quick because you know, for ice fishing, you just want it to get down there and start doing your little jigs and stuff, right? So they're extremely vibrant colors. I tie them in oranges and pinks, in chartreuses, and they're just almost like a perdigon or a fat chironomid, let's call it. And they're just using a Nymph Skin from Brian Smith, the Fly Smith. And phenomenal stuff. I've tried a lot of different Nymph Skins out over the years, and I tell you, I haven't found one better. So take a look in the description. I've got a link in there for his store if you want to go check it out. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Let's get tying. So in the vise today, we have an Alex Nymph's jig hook, size 10, 3.8 mil. There's the address if you guys want to get these. And I get these from Fly Life Canada out of Edmonton. I think you get 20 or 25 per pack. And you can get them in multiple sizes, obviously. This is a size 10. It's a little on the larger side, but that's actually the last two I have, so I'll have to order some more. So for the thread, I'm going to be using some UTC Ultra in 140 denier. In chartreuse. I tie these in chartreuse, pink, orange, and sometimes even in black, depending where I'm using these. These ones that I'm tying today, this one, and the ones I'm going to show you are primarily for ice fishing. In black and silver, it would be more for like a perdigon style. So, alrighty. So I'll be using that. I'll be using some Nymph Skin. Comes in a little package like this, multiple different colors. This is from the Fly Smith, Brian Smith. Really good stuff. I've used lots of the the Nymph Skins over the years from different companies and stuff, and I've liked them. This stuff is just different. It's very good. So, and I'll be using a little bit of 0.1 or small olive wire. Okay, that's it. Pretty simple. So I'm just going to start right behind the bead there, 3-4 wraps, and I've waxed my thread so it helps stick to that lead that's on there. I mean, it's on a taper, right? So it always wants to fall off, and you'll see it. It probably will fall back all the time, but that's just pretty normal. So I'm just going to cover the shank of the hook back here, right up to the bend, no further, with this nice chartreuse. Go right up to there and then back again one more time just to finish off that little bit of a taper there. Makes it a bit better transition. And then I'm just going to go all the way up and cover that lead and then back. And I'm going to leave about that much on the back end for a bit of a tag. Now I'm going to take my Nymph Skin and I'm going to cut it on a fairly sharp angle. I just want that corner, just like that. That's it, okay? And then I'm just gonna catch it right by that tip and then stretch it. And that's it. Okay. And then again, just make sure my body is very nicely covered all the way up. And if there's any missing spots, like that one that you guys can see there, try to cover it. Again, it's not 100% crucial. It's going to be all covered in here with the, see what I meant by the slipping? It's all going to be covered in by the nymph skin anyway. So I'm just going to go one more time back down, all the way right to where that nymph skin's tied in. Back up all the way. I'm going to stop, just give my thread a counterclockwise just to flatten it. I want a really nice underbody, full color underbody there. So now I'm going to take, excuse me, my whip finisher. I'm just going to give it just one turn there, just to keep it, make sure I don't bump it. And then I'm going to stretch this stuff. Okay. And I'll show you two different ways of tying these. This is one. So, Dunsky, finished. Coat it, you're done. And it'll turn out looking like that. Okay, that's the pink version. Okay, really simple. But, just to show you the difference, now I should have done it earlier, but it's all okay. It can be done now. The other way is to just give it a bit more of a segmented look. So I'm going to take some of that green wire. If I had chartreuse, I'd use that, but I don't. I only have olive. So I'm going to try to put this one right down the back because it might show through sometimes, the nymph skin, and then come back up again. Right, and if it does, it'll look buggier that way than having it all over the place. So right now, it'll show a little bit of a like the blood vein, if you want to call it that. But okay, so now I'll do it again. So now I'm gonna go up, and I'm covering about half of that previous wrap, give or take. Come right up to the front there, tie that off. Now the key with any of these nymph skins, because you're going to have to pull, is make sure you've got that thing locked in before you cut it, because it'll pull out and bye-bye your whole fly. Right, so just make sure that's really tight in there, because you're going to pull and that'll suck it back in underneath there. Okay, so now I'm going to actually move my magnifying glass just so I can see each rib as I come around. I want to be right there, right behind that last. And I'm pulling it fairly deep into it. So it's going to give you a little bit of a different look than if you don't segment it, right? So it's just a different, ends up being a different look on this bug. So I tie them both ways for ice fishing. I don't ice fish, but I know a few guys that do, and I've supplied them with flies, and they love them. But I don't. I haven't ice. I think I've ice fished twice, and one time was more of a work gathering, get together, hang out, drink beer session than it was a actual fishing. I don't know if we even put our rods in the water. I can't remember. So again, one, two, right, just bring it right up. Nice and tight. Cut that off. Now I'm going to coat it with UV resin. I want to make sure there's none of these little fluffies from your table, because that's probably what it is, leftover fluff from my table. So, okay. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of this, just put it down either side, or top and bottom, whatever, it's up to you, just a little bit. Then I'm going to take my bodkin and just spread that out so it covers the whole body. And if it's not enough, just come back in and just give it a little tiny bit more. You need it, which I did. Make sure those threads are nicely covered too. Right up to that head, right up to that bead. A little tiny hair there. Let's see if I can get it or not. It really doesn't matter. It's more for the tyer than it is for the fish. But okay, zap that. Now, if you want these a little bit smaller, use a smaller, a thinner thread. Like use a 70 denier, or like if you're using one that's got the aughts, like use like a 12-aught or something, or even less. But getting the coverage is key. You want to make sure you've got really good coverage on this with the thread, because you'll see this kind of this green or the pink or the orange or whatever color you decided to tie it. You'll see that through it, right? It'll be a little bit of a shine through that, right? Through that white, you'll see that green. Now I'm just coating it. I always coat anything I coat with UV resin. I coat with some Sally Hansen's after. And the reason is I don't trust UV resin 100%. I think it's great stuff, but I find that no matter what brand you use, this is Gulf, which is one of my favorite. But I find if you don't coat it, you never get 100% dry. Like you'll get 99%, but not 100%, right? So I'm just gonna unfocus this because I've got it on lock. There, now it focused back in as it got fatter, right? So there, like I said, there's one with a rib. Here's a couple without a rib, pink and orange. Here, I'll just do this. See if you guys can see them. So there. Okay. So there's a pink one, orange one, and a green one. I have a chartreuse one just like this without the rib as well. Let me just see if I can quickly find it here. Here. So here's another one without the rib in chartreuse, right? So, right. But, and then I also tie them like this more for the rivers and stuff, right? A little bit of hair on them, a little bit of dubbing. See if I got another one here. I like these ones with the little bit of tuft tails as well, right? And then this guy here. All these are all on the same type of hook and on the same size, right? This one's done very well for me in the rivers, right? It's the same stuff. It's the same clear Nymph Skin, but it's got black thread underneath it, so it turns it kind of gray. And then it's got a red small wire, and then some Hens hair dubbing plus, and a little bit of floss in the tip for the tail. That's it, right? So, yeah. So it depends what you're doing. Just play with different variations, but it's pretty simple. These things will sink like an absolute rock with that. This has got, what did it have again? A 3.8 mil tungsten bead plus the body, which is all lead, right? So darn heavy. There's quite a bit of weight to these, so they'll sink pretty fast and great for ice fishing. So, alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Hit whoop whoop, thumbs up. Make comments, and yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. We'll see you guys on the next time video. Talons!